Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. Now in this video we're going to talk about the element hydrogen. Okay, now hydrogen is the most important element there is. Okay, when we look at the perspective of the cosmos, that we live on a planet that's called Earth that goes around a star which we call the sun. If we look at our reality from that perspective, the sun is mainly made up of hydrogen. And the most abundant element in our cosmos is hydrogen. Now, one of the most important aspects of vitality as the human is water. The only other most important thing for us is to breathe the air quality. Now you'll hear majority of people, when 99% of the time they have a health problem, is they'll straight away look at their diet, when really in all reality our water and the quality of water that we drink is more important than what we're eating. Okay, so it's something that gets overlooked. A lot of people know got to drink 8 glasses of water a day, but they don't look at the aspect of the quality of the water they're drinking. So the water we have here is H2O, right? So a big part of water is hydrogen. Now, if we break the word hydrogen down into hydro, which means water, gen means genesis. So we're talking about the genesis of water. Now, the genesis, the origin of everything in this reality is consciousness. So hydrogen means the consciousness of water, okay? So it's a big deal, because then when we look at stars and we realize that they are mainly made up of hydrogen, they are water generators, okay? Now, at that perspective again, in regards to looking for other worlds that are good for life, and we kind of measure what's right for life as water. Water has to be a big part of that aspect. Well, every star is made up of hydrogen. They're generators of water. Now, also hydrogen is the most powerful antioxidant there is. There's a lot of science showing this now, that hydrogen and adding hydrogen to something is a very powerful antioxidant. Now, for me, hydrogen, and I'm going to connect it back to water that we have here, right, on this planet, is hydrogen makes water very magical. And this is the example I'm going to give to you now. Spring water, okay, water out in nature, water that comes from aquifers deep underground, okay, that somehow levitates from aquifers underground all the way up to the surface. Quite often water that is thousands of years old hasn't been touched by industry or humanity. It's pure, okay? And I've been to a number of rivers that have been spring sourced, and also gone to a number of springs and drank the water from springs. And there's certainly something very magical about it. Now, I remember going to a river that was sourced with spring water. Beautiful, clear water. Had a blue hue to it, but you could see all the life, all the little fish swimming along. It was incredible. It was like looking through a glass window. Okay, it was amazing. And there was a sign in regards to this river that said, it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside, okay, the water temperature would remain the same all year round. Now, what science tells us about water is water's got many states to it, right? When it's boiled, okay, and it's gone over 100 degrees Celsius, water turns from a liquid to a gaseous form, right? Steam. And if water goes below 0 degrees Celsius, it freezes, so it goes from a liquid to a solid. Now, the thing about spring water and about this river, because it was sourced with spring water, a jet flow of new spring water all the time, was that if the temperature outside was below zero, that water, by the laws of physics and laws of science, should turn into a solid. It wouldn't. It would remain the same temperature. It would still flow. Now, if the temperatures are hot outside, you'd think that would have an effect on that water. Nope, the water stays the same. What's doing that? What's enabling that medicinal quality of that water? What's enabling that water to levitate? Now, science and physics says that if anything goes against gravity, right? Gravity's pushing things down. Levity's things going up. So it's going against gravity. Friction occurs. And out of friction, heat is formed. But we've got spring water coming up to the surface that's ice cold. No heat. Okay, even though it's gone against gravity. It's levitated up. Now, what's enabling this magical quality? Hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen. Okay, it's something very medicinal, and it's something that's been coming through in my sessions a lot for quite some time now. And there's a system I actually created, which we call broadcasting system, which you can find out where you're deficient. And I've got a number of elements or mineral charts, right, to find out what mineral element I'm deficient in. And when I started using that system for myself, I had that in my kitchen whenever I'd have something to eat or something to drink. I'd find, okay, what do I need to put into my water and food? And it would just keep coming up with hydrogen. I was like, hydrogen, really? And I've learned a hell of a lot about hydrogen since that point. I've been into spring water and that for a number of years before I got even into the energy thing. But we've learned more about hydrogen, and I wanted to share about hydrogen with you here. Now, so we've looked at the aspect of the word hydrogen, right? Hydro, water, genesis of water. Now, genesis or gen is also connected to the word gene. Okay, so when we're talking about gene, we're talking about a DNA, right? Genetics. So what we see with DNA, the symbolic nature of DNA, is we see two strands that are vortexing around each other. So it's creating a vortex. We know the geometry of vortex is flow. Okay, and it's got nucleotides between these two strands that connect as pairs. Okay, and that is data. Okay, so what we see in symbolic nature of DNA, it's flow of data, a transfer of data. Okay, a bit like people say in the consciousness or spiritual community, light downloads. The nucleotides is the light, is the light, right? It's the data, and the strands or the vortex is enabling the flow of that light activation. So you can see how that connects with hydrogen, because hydrogen is all about flow. One thing about water, what does water teach us? Flow. What we see with water, the more ferocious its flow is, the more vortex action it has, the more cleaner and more energetic that water is. Okay? The more the water is not moving, so therefore not flowing, and it's sitting there, it gets dirty and smelly very quickly. It's lost its energy, right? It's lost its capacity to have a vortex, a flowing capability to it. So it loses its aspect of the hydrogen aspect of it. Okay? So, as I say, gene connected to the DNA, and I've just mentioned the symbolic nature of DNA. Okay? Now, the cool thing is that we make tensor rings here at Truly Holistic. Now, tensor rings, you'll notice, I'll just give you an example of that. Let's go with the bigger ring here. Is you'll see that we use copper wire and we twist it. And we twist it, and you can see it's a vortex formation. Okay? And when we create a ring, like if you didn't twist the wire and you just had one piece of copper and turn it into a ring, it'd still create what we call a tensor field. Okay, but there'd be a positive and a negative side. by twisting it, we create positive and positive side. There's no negative aspect of this tensor ring anymore. And what this does, it creates a column of light. Okay, and what we find when we use a tensor ring, when it comes to water, it enables to restructure the water. And the cubit measures that we use here, for example, with the set, trilogy set that we sell here at Truly Holistic, and we sell it in two different forms, a small variety and a larger variety. And these contain the 3 cubit measures of evolvement, which means ascendance. Activation cubit, the gateway cubit, and the ascension cubit. Okay? Now, so we use this on ourselves for our ascendance, but we can use this on water as well in regards to the water's ascendance. The more water is handled by humanity, the more imprint of humanity has been placed on the water. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to remove that, because we want to take water all the way back to its source, like spring water, that magical quality of spring water with all that hydrogen in it. So when we use these rings, when we place a bottle of water or water within that ring, within seconds, at the energy level, at the quantum level, that water is connecting back to its source self. It's being restructured back to its origin, its source self, okay? And it's increasing hydrogen in that water. Now, if we want to feel the difference within that water on a physical level, it has to stay within the rings for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. Because you got to remember that when you go all the way back to the start, to the quantum field, it like dropping a pebble into a pond. It will permeate through the layers, through the levels, until it gets to the physical level. And what you'll notice with the change of the water is that it will taste differently, the texture will be different, and the water will look clearer, okay, once we get that change after the 4 to 6 hours. Okay, so a good idea is to fill a big tank of water or a big body of water and having these rings underneath it, whether you want to use that or use that. Now, the cool thing about the small version is you can just place them on like that. Okay. But, you know, these rings are great for a number of things, not just water. Okay. For a bigger body of water, you might want to go the bigger lot, the bigger set, or to work on the body. So we're able to rejuvenate water, okay, back to its original form through tensor technology, and that's what those rings are able to do. And I tell you, what a difference it makes. Last time when I had to be away from home for a number of days, I didn't have my rings with me. I missed them because I drank the water supply there, and it felt heavy in my stomach. And you'll know that idea of water when you drink water and you can feel it in your stomach. It feels like it's just gushing in your stomach. You can feel it's heavy. That's water that is lost all its structure. So your ability to hydrate that and absorb it into your bloodstream has been really impaired. Okay, and that's what I was noticing big time. So the thing with when you use these tensor rings to again bring more hydrogen into the water, more flow into the water, that vortexing quality and restructuring the water, you don't need to drink as much water because it's more hydrating with the amount that you drink. And what you'll notice when you drink, all of a sudden it doesn't reach the stomach because it's already gone through the walls of the mouth and the back of the throat and going into your bloodstream. Because the quality of water will mean the quality of blood that you have. Because water goes into creating your blood. Okay? So it's very important. Now, Dr. Emoto showed what intention does to the water. Okay? So again, this is working on the vibrational frequency aspect of water. Because when we structure water, it can hold memory. So just like a crystal, programming a crystal, because it's structured, when we structure water, we can program the water. We can use one of these products and we can talk through it or place intention notes or use intention with these rings to program your water. So if you want more vitamin C in it, then you can make the intention to put more vitamin C in it. You can also, another system we use to do that is the broadcaster system using the sun ring. Use an intention note, use your intention with the water. Because the thing with the sun ring, and that's why we quite often couple the sun ring with a neutralization ring or use a tensor ring. Now the neutralization ring and the tensor ring restructure something that removes chaotic formation, which is unstructured field, into a harmonious structured field. So therefore then it will hold an intent. Okay? Because when it's unstructured and you say you want to voice something into your water that you want your water to carry, it won't carry it because it's not structured. So that's why quite often with a sun ring we couple that with a neutralization, or you can replace that neutralization with a tensor ring because they do the same job, because that neutralization ring or the tensor ring transmutes the field into a structured form that then you can charge it with a charging tool like the sun ring or your intention. Okay? So when we use the word hydrogen within our session, we realize that what hydrogen does, hydrogen's rejuvenating, regenerative, okay? It's hydrating, it's within the word, of course, right? It's got flowing properties, and it's got levitating properties to it. And when we look at a number of health issues as the human, especially spinal issues, is caused by gravity, too much gravity, compression of the spine, and not enough levity. Okay, hydrogen brings more levity. Okay, hence it's rejuvenating, it's regenerative, because gravity is degenerative. Okay, so it's polarities to each other is levity and gravity, and hydrogen brings through that levitation quality. So hydration, flow is everything. Okay. Every organ, every aspect of your physicality depends on flow. But that all connects back to the quantum level energy when people say you need to be in the flow of life. Because if you're not in the flow of life and you're trying to fix everything at the human level with the mind, you're blocking or obstructing your own flow, which is going to have an expression on how your physiology is going to run. Because it's going to express it as congestion or obstruction in regards to aspects of your body that rely on flow. That might be blood pressure. It's the intelligence of the body. Blood getting thick, congested, because it's not flowing very well. So what does the body do? The intelligence of the body. Let's push that blood around the body a bit more. Give it more of a push. Increase blood pressure. So it's not a matter about, high blood pressure is bad, let's treat that. We need to ask the question, why is the intelligence of the body needing to intervene and come in and create high blood pressure? And it all comes down to flow. Okay. Breathing issues, flow issues. Heart attack, right? Is when we get blood clots or thickened blood. Flow problem. Every aspect of a lot of the health problems that we have is all down to flow. Hydrogen is essential for that. Okay. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you really dialed into the passion I have behind water, about hydrogen, how important it is. And we incorporate this in the healing sessions here at Truly Holistic. We make tools to help with increasing more hydrogen in regards to water, in regards to food, in regards to your body. So it's a big deal. And we know that. And we see the benefits when we work on hydrogen, increasing hydrogen within our clients too. Till next time.